This is Chet Holmgren, and I'm down to dunk.
This is AJ Mitchell, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Alex Crusoe, and I'm down to dunk.
It's like baby bottle pop. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. This is Adam Flagler, and I'm down to dunk.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Kason Wallace, and I'm down to dunk.
I can't spell Lucas. Hey, how do you spell Lucas? How do you spell Lucas?
This is Lou Dort, and I'm down to Dort.
This is Nikola Topic, and I'm down to dunk.
This is Dylan Jones, and I'm down to dunk. This is Isaiah Joe, and I'm down to dunk.
And there's probably like 50 to 75 Beanie Babies.
Give me like your top 3 Pokemon.
Brother, I can't even name.
This is Jay Will, and I'm down to dunk.
Sometimes the way his brain works is it leaves a lot to be desired.
This is Kenrich Williams, and I'm down to dunk.
Charmander.
Yeah.
Charmander. Or you're more of a Charmeleon guy.
Charmeleon.
This is Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, and I'm down to dunk.
Schlecht. You know what
Schlecht?
it means? Yeah.
That means like bad.
It means bad.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's me.
Well, it was a good interview, so it wasn't bad.
J-Dub, year 3, and I'm down to dunk for the 3rd time. Thank you.
Ooh, welcome to Down to Dunk. I'm your host, Andrew Schlecht. We're part of the Athletic Podcast Network. With me on a Monday afternoon, Pacific time, is my guy, Dave DuFour. Dave, welcome to the show.
You're making me feel like I should raise this this blind behind me because it got dark and you can't really see. I don't have the T-Mobile Arena in the background like
I know.
you do.
Check that out. I think you can see. Wait, how do I move? Yep, there's the cup. This is the cup right here, by the way. Respect it. This is it right here. This is also a good reason why you should subscribe to our YouTube page, because you can actually see the cup. You can actually respect it right now.
I'm respecting this parking garage over here.
Yeah.
Solid parking structure.
I've done several pods today, and it is just nice having this background. Leave it, Dave. Leave it. No. Yeah, leave it.
Right,
Come on.
right.
Come on.
Distract, you know.
Yeah, no, not distracting. It looks beautiful. So we're recording this on Monday afternoon. The game is tomorrow against the Milwaukee Bucks. We're here to preview that. I went to Thunder practice earlier today. Not a ton to report from that. They actually, it's funny because the way that they hold practice, they allow media to stay for 15 minutes, but they were running so late that they started practice and they gave us about 3 minutes to view practice, and that's about all we got. And they're lining up to do their stretches and everything, which we have not really been in the building to see before. And so then the NBA people are like, all right, everybody get out of here. Turn your phones off. Get out of here. And
Top stretching.
That's right. Do not view the stretching. And J-Dub was hilarious. J-Dub was just screaming, get out, to everybody. It was pretty funny.
I see our guy Michael Clampett in the chat. We're gonna see you tomorrow. You better see me tomorrow.
Oh wow, Michael Clampett. Oh yeah, definitely come say hi. Come get a Down to Dunk sticker, Michael. I'll have some in my back pocket at the game. If anybody else is gonna be at the game, holler at me, and I will get you a Down to Dunk sticker to put on your car or your, I don't know, coffee cup, whatever else you guys like to put stickers on. Laptop.
Do people still do a podcast sticker on your car? That's, I don't know.
That's what?
It's a bit far. It feels a little far.
Why?
I feel like the bumper sticker on your car meant to send a message, right?
Yeah.
Not to. I mean, a lot of people do express fandom with their cars or whatever.
Yeah.
But you need I don't know, honk if you hate litter. You know what I mean? Something like that. It needs to be some kind of a message.
The message is this: respect the cup. That's what it means when they see it.
You put it on the back of the phone. That's where you want people to put it.
Back of the phone. I actually gave one to a Down to Dunk fan, and I saw her kind of line it up with the back of her phone whenever she was about to walk away. So yeah, I see that. Yeah. I see that. So yeah, I think that the Thunder they clearly want to win this game. I think that they're highly motivated, as are the Milwaukee Bucks. I don't think there's any shortage of motivation here from either side. I think that both feel like they still have a lot to prove. Giannis, and the Bucks proving that they're still a good team, after winning a title a few years ago. And then for the Thunder, it's just like a lot of people view this as like them arriving on the scene, and like everybody listening to this like knows that they've been good for a while. But I think that both have a ton of motivation. I actually talked to AJ Mitchell about it because AJ is one of the guys that would benefit monetarily more than a lot of the guys on the roster because it would pretty much double his salary as a two-way player. And he even told me, and I don't know if this was lip service or not, but like he told me that like the money is like certainly like a secondary thing. Like they just very much want to win this.
Yeah.
You know, maybe it's secondary. Yeah, it's the right thing. It is certainly the right thing to say. And this is like, he's a very smart guy, like socially aware, like good guy. And so like, yes, absolutely. You'd say that, but I'm pretty sure he'll be pretty excited if they win.
That money is probably going to hit.
If they win this money, when that money hits the bank account, for sure.
Do not let me forget that we need to find out if he plays in the game, whether it counts toward his G League, the two-way days of service. I want to find out the answer to that.
I know.
It is a new thing. And this is one, I don't even know if I can text Larry Kuhn on this one. He may not know at the top of his head.
I know. It's a weird one. I need to find this out because I was chatting with him about just like his G League experience and everything. And he's obviously had a great experience so far with the Thunder. But it's a good question because like they get 50 days or 50 games to play, basically.
Yeah.
And then they'll need to convert him. And I have zero doubts that they will. Like you don't play this guy like you have been and not convert him. So they have the spot. They're gonna convert the guy. It just comes down to like letting him get those 50 days in first. But does this count in the countdown?
I'm guessing it does.
AJ Mitchell's deal. So you guys know. I actually think yes.
Yeah, I think it's an exhibition game. Like if it doesn't count toward the regular season for statistics, for record, for anything else. I mean, if someone scores 100 points in this or 101 points, it will not be the record. I think that I think that means he can play and it won't count.
Yeah. I guess we'll see. We'll see. I'll try to find that out. You are probably right. The more you're saying, the more you're talking about it, the more you're probably right. What sticks out to you when you heard it was Thunder Bucks? What was?
Well, I was in the building.
Well, yeah, you were in the building. Well, what hit your brain as like the clock strikes midnight and the Thunder beat the Rockets? Like what sticks in your mind about this next matchup?
I have no idea how the Bucks are going to guard Shea and J-Dub.
Yeah.
And I know how the Thunder are going to guard the Bucks.
Yeah.
And so I don't know, man. This could be the Thunder could stomp the Bucks theoretically. Like they could just wipe the floor with them.
I kind of agree. Yeah. I think there's certainly a chance of that happening. Yeah.
Dame is such a target defensively. Gary Trent, not much better at all.
No, and they've put him to the bench as well.
Yeah. So even when he comes in, I mean, I'm just saying they're always got someone to pick on. You can't really stick Giannis out at point of attack for long stretches. I think he can do it. End of the game, Shea's going to take one shot. Okay, you throw Giannis on him, and I hope I get to see that. I talked about it on the show the other day, but they just don't have anyone that can guard an individual. I think the Thunder's ability to get out and run in transition, that's the thing that really scares me if I'm the Bucks, because you know you're bad at it anyway, and the Thunder are so good. They're so good at it, especially with Hartenstein out there. I mean, the outlet passes that he's willing to throw, it's like a whole different level for them. So, yeah, it could get embarrassing. I just hope it's not a blowout because I'm going to be there. I don't want to have to watch a blowout.
Yeah, I've shared a little bit about just like the experience, but like you tell me, like from what you've experienced so far here in Vegas, in and around the arena, and just like being at the games, like what's your feel for how this is going for the NBA?
I think the Saturday thing was weird. Yeah, I listened to you guys talk about the event Saturday, and I kind of echo your sentiments. I mean, you were here last year, so you had something to compare it to, and I watched it at home. So for me, I was thinking about it from that perspective. Hey, this is what it sounded like. This is what it looked like. This is what it felt like. And I was actually okay with the entire thing on Saturday. The crowd not being super into it wasn't a problem for me.
Okay.
It was full, and I
Yeah.
do think that as the Bucks Hawks game went on and it got a little later in the game, people were way more into it. That third quarter run that the Hawks put on and to make the game close, people started to make some noise. I do also, and Zena and S brought this up on the show the other day, but I think there might be a weird acoustic thing in that building for broadcast, because when you were down on the floor, it didn't sound like a normal NBA arena. The volume of the music is at a respectful level, which I appreciate. But I think that's part of why it doesn't sound so loud on TV, because it's not meant to be super loud, but people were invested in the game. It's more a matter of timing. If you can get more fans of these teams in the building, it's going to be better. And I think that, it's hard to do with the short turnaround. They got 2 days, 3 days to get people out there. The NBA lucked out having the Atlanta Hawks in town, because there were a lot, or there were Falcons in town, because there were a lot of Hawks fans in the building who were out here for football. So if they just figure out a way to just rig it every year so that whoever's playing the Monday Night Football game is also in the Final Four, I think that could help them quite a bit. But I just think it's more of a scheduling logistics issue than anything else. The cup is working. The players are in. The media's in.
Yeah.
I mean, you know how cynical all the people we work with are? And to a man, we all, and woman too, by the way, let me respectfully make sure I bring that up. Everyone is in on the NBA Cup. We've all just decided that this thing, look, it certainly is fake. It's all fake. But let's pretend like it's real, right? And it is, and it's been a lot of fun. And so, people made fun of the Lakers for raising the banner that the league made them raise.
Yeah.
In 10 years, we're gonna some team is gonna have multiple NBA Cup banners, and their fans are gonna brag about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, Thunder fans or Bucks fans will get to brag about their team having the first real cup banner. Not in season tournament. There's one in season tournament banner, and that's it.
That's right.
There'll be no other. But there will be one first cup banner. This is just like a funny logistical thing that I've been trying to bring to people's attention, because it is something that needs to be fixed. But like, we talk about like celebrating this cup, let's say the Thunder do win this. The Thunder are coming back to Oklahoma City for a minute because they have a road trip. Right. And so like a lot of times Thunder fans like to meet the team at the airport, and they line the fence. It's like this big chain link fence. They line the fence, and the Thunder players walk by, everybody high fives. It's great. The Thunder are going to Orlando. They have 1 day in between. They're going to go to Orlando. They're going to play on Thursday night. And then on Friday, they play against the Miami Heat in a back-to-back right after the cup is over. And so it's a logistical nightmare for the Thunder. And they would never say like, we would not want to win it. Like, this is too hard, whatever. Like, they absolutely want to win this. Like, organizationally, top to bottom, want to win this thing. But I think it is important to point out that like, this is a kind of a logistical disaster for the teams that actually get here. Because the schedule was not built to like have a cushion for the teams that make it here.
Right.
And so while I think the cup has been successful, and like there was enough people at the arena for both games, by the end of the first game, it felt like a pretty good crowd. And then, for the second game, I thought it was good really from the jump.
It was great. Yeah.
But the problem is like, there could be like this cup hangover that happens. It actually happened to LA last year. Like, the Lakers had a really bad stretch after they won the in-season tournament. And so like, I wonder if like the Thunder, have like 5 games where they just don't look like themselves. Like, one, like immediately point to this, because it's just a lot. It's a lot. And like, if you see like the Thunder, they're playing in 2 games, you're probably like, oh, they're just playing in 2 games. The amount of like availabilities that's required by the NBA, I'm not even talking about like extra things that people are asking for or whatever. The amount of like things that these guys have to do over the course of their time here, it's a lot that they have to do. And they have to be in this highly competitive environment. There are just so many things about being here that is exhausting. and then to basically have to jump right back in it. It's a lot. The league would never, and Mark Degnault was actually talking about this. Let me see if I can pull up. I'm gonna get off my soapbox here in a minute, Dave. And
a back-to-back on the road after this is insane, man. It doesn't make any sense to me.
It's crazy.
That's avoidable. You can't tell me that's not avoidable. I just don't.
Why couldn't you just be like, hey, the teams that make it to the Cup, the following game that they have is going to be rescheduled.
Also, why isn't it just a guaranteed home game? If you make it to Vegas, your first game back, it should be a home game.
It should be. It should be.
Honestly, man, I think I have a solution for this, and it's a way to help. Number one, you can limit the travel. I think you can just give the league a little bit of a travel break during this stretch, and combine it with rivalry week, and then have your regional rivalries. And so if you go to Vegas and you have to play the game, so like the Hawks and the Rockets who just went home, they go home after a day or two off, whatever we figure out, play a home game against a rival, non-back-to-back, and move on. So if the Thunder were going home and playing a home game, let's say they had one night off and they played on Thursday, which that's not ideal either. But that going home, playing the home game, have a second, a day off, and then maybe another home game. I just feel like it's not that hard. And then by just scheduling it as rivalry week, you can do it so that you have geographically close opponents. So you just say, okay, well, you're going to play one, these teams are going to play someone from this group if they make it. Okay. So we just pair them up. It's not really that complicated, but to make these guys fly from Vegas to Orlando is absurd.
It's a long flight and
time zone difference. It's so many things working against them.
Yeah. It's logistically, it's tough. But I will say with all that, that to me is probably the biggest thing they need to fix moving forward. It's just logistically, how can we make this better? And I'm sure that they'll work on that. But I kind of came into this thinking, I don't know that they can continue to do this in Vegas. I don't know if this is sustainable. I actually kind of think it is. I actually think it's kind of great. And so I hope, and this is already kind of being talked about from what I understand, that they will move it to January. I think that would be a good move. I don't know. My wife would very much appreciate that. So just do it for Amy, please. Just move the Cup for Amy. It's respectful, and I'll promise you she'll respect the Cup a lot more if you move to January. Promise you that. Let's see what else sticks out.
Let me ask you a question. Okay.
Ask me
before we leave this road trip.
Do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they're going to take the Cup on the road. Okay.
Okay.
I want them to treat it like the Stanley Cup. I want them take it to the Orlando Magic, who wished that they could have been in Vegas. Take it to Miami, who they don't care. But take it on the road until you come back, and then you have the fans meet you in the airport, and then you do a parade. For the NBA Cup. That'd be fun.
Yeah. Also, they need to have it. They need to figure out a way to configure that it is a home game for whoever the winner is, so that you can properly celebrate it. I don't think anybody knows how to celebrate it yet. And I think that people are still figuring out. I think maybe they'll pretend that this. I don't know. Maybe I'm too cool to celebrate this thing. We want to celebrate.
Be like a fan thing. The fans really are the ones that will create the value there for the players. And I think if the fans hold it up as something that's fun and important, and think about it, your team won a single elimination tournament, which is how basketball is actually supposed to go. Basketball in a single elimination format is the thing that we grew up loving. March Madness rules. You grew up doing it in high school when you went to the state tournament. This is real hoops. And so I think if fans will buy into it and treat it that way, then the players will too. And they already have. The players are in. I don't think that's even a concern. The league is in, which is great. And I think I'm with you, man. The Vegas thing is good. I don't know that this is ever going to be a tentpole Super Bowl style event. I don't think that's possible for the NBA. But it is something cool that they have now in their portfolio. It's better than the All-Star game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, the Thunder's first home game back is the 23rd of December against Corey Kispert and them boys.
Wow.
The Washington Wizards.
Hey, let's make sure that they know they need to run the score up in that game. Respect the Cup.
For sure. Yeah, respect the Cup. Yeah. God, it's gonna be hilarious. My son, actually, my 12-year-old son pulled like this, or actually, no. Here's how it happened.
Okay.
Alex Spears had a bunch of really awesome NBA cards that he was just gonna get rid of, and instead he sent them to my kids. He sent them all three these like really nice big boxes of NBA cards, and he like made them all equal and was like, you guys just get to pick which one you want, choose wisely, because like each box has something a little bit different inside. So my oldest son pulled a card, and it's like this really awesome numbered Corey Kispert card. And so like my son is on a mission to get Corey Kispert to sign this card, which is really funny. And since he's pulled that card, and he's been like, Dad, I have to go to Thunder Wizards. And so he's been talking about it. It's so funny. So I'm very excited for him to be able to see the cup. I assume they'll raise the banner that night. I don't know. I have no clue.
I think,
and then you get to be there, and hopefully Corey Kispert signs, because we need Corey Kispert to sign this card. So
the mayor's got to be there, right? If the mayor doesn't show up for
the mayor will be there.
Banner. Okay, all right. We need. The mayor.
Yeah. Mayor Holt will be there for sure.
Very important.
Yeah, but on this very show, Mayor Holt.
I remember.
He respects the cup. He respects the Thunder. So I'm certain that the mayor
get some sort of declaration. NBA Cup Champion Day.
He's all about that. He is all about that. Yeah, that's so funny. Let's see what's your expectation for how the Thunder will handle Giannis defensively? Like I think that we've kind of talked through this a little bit, but like what is your thought on what this could look like?
I mean, I think they're going to throw everybody at him, kind of like they do. I expect Caruso to get some good run on Giannis. Try to bother his dribble a little bit. Caruso's so strong and he can hold up a little bit. Yeah, and has actually guarded Giannis as well as anybody can, right? Like he's done okay for a smaller guy.
Yeah, for sure.
I think honestly, Hartenstein. I don't know where we landed on this.
Stein. Yeah, you had it right. Yeah, definitely.
On
Stein.
TV, they keep saying Stein, and it makes me feel like I'm wrong. I mean, it's but Stein is what he says, so that's what.
Well, it's Stein or both acceptable.
Okay. All right. Then as long as it's the Ein. So
don't Ian the man. No Ians.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Hartenstein can guard Giannis. I think you just say you live with, as much as I know it goes against the numbers right now. You just say you live with Giannis taking those jumpers that he's been hitting.
Yeah.
And Taurean Prince is going to have to beat you with the three ball. You just got to keep him from being able to attack the basket. The ways in which Giannis is getting his points are a little bit different this year. Again, the mid-ranger, he's hitting at a crazy rate.
Yeah.
He's operating in the post a little bit more. I mean, he hit that nice turnaround fadeaway against the Hawks Saturday night or Saturday afternoon.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that, when you look at just the ways that he's been scoring, you can guard him with Hartenstein. And also it keeps Hartenstein in around the basket a little bit more instead of out trying to roam and come back and help when Brook Lopez is spacing out 30 feet.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of an opportunity because you can guard Brook with a smaller guy.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, definitely. I mean, you can even use Shea to guard Brook. They're likely not going to be like, hey, we have this post up matchup. Yeah. Like this, it's not like he's on the Brooklyn Nets anymore, for crying out loud. I agree. I do worry about Hartenstein fouling too much if he is the primary defender for Giannis. But I do think that is something that they'll do. I think that, like you said, they'll do everything. Like they're going to throw the kitchen sink at this guy. And I think they're going to double him a lot at the elbow. I think the game is going to be make him give it up, and then the issue is Dame, right? Like if Dame is the X factor in this game, if Dame goes for 40. If it's one of those nights, then you just kind of throw your hands up, right? Like, and he can do that still. Yeah, he can. That's why it's good to have Case and Wallace though. Like that's where it's like sometimes you're like, man, they have a lot of defenders. Like, do you really need this many point of attack defenders? Like in the NBA, absolutely. You can use as many as possible. And having the fact that you can throw Dort and J-Dub at Giannis and then have Kaysen just be like, hey, Kaysen, just like make this guy have a miserable night. Like he's done really well. I I remember him against Luka the other night. He blocked a jumper of Luka's.
Yes.
Like
I was actually just about to bring that up. Yeah.
Yeah. Like Kaysen's really good. Hartenstein has developed like this affinity for him too. There's even like this photo of them like walking out of the game together where he's got his arm around him and they're both just smiling so big.
Yeah.
But even today, he was asked just about like who's benefiting from the cup itself. And yeah, he mentioned that Kaysen Wallace, like, and some of it was like not necessarily that Kaysen's like developing from this, but he's just like, people are now seeing how good Kaysen Wallace is, and that's why like we need more national television games, and this is why people need to understand who our team is. Like people know like how good Shea is, people know how good J-Dub is, people know how good Hartenstein is because of the free agency signing, the amount he's getting paid, and his time with the New York Knicks. Like a lot of people know that, but and this is something we bring up on this show all the time, something that Presty mentioned before the season. If Kaysen Wallace was on, name any other team, and he was like their one young guy,
yeah,
I think we talk about him a lot. But the fact that he's on this team and everybody's young,
one of 6 young guys, right?
Yeah. Like, and so I think that certainly it's he deserves more shine, and I think like this is an opportunity for him to get some more shine. Like defending Dame, if Dame doesn't do well against the Thunder, and Kaysen Wallace is like his primary defender, and he's chasing him around for 32 minutes or whatever it is on Tuesday night, then perhaps like he will get some more shine.
He's hit some big shots too, and again, it's just these games happen in the forest. If you're an NBA watcher, some nights, and even like if you're just a highlights guy, sometimes you're not going to see the Thunder, just because LeBron did something, So guys like Kaysen Wallace, they really do sneak up on you, and the fact like they have 6 guards that you just are like, go get that guy. Six guys, legitimately 6 guys that you can just say, go guard that guy. And that no one else can replicate that. It's sort of like the ball handler thing where people are always, we got 3 guys that are going to join up. Is there enough basketballs to go around? That has never actually been a problem. Never.
Yeah.
Always are like, wow, we need another ball handler. Can we have 6 instead of 5? And I think that when you look at what OKC has done, look at all the ball handling they've got, and look at all the on-ball defense that they've got. That is the key to success and sustained success, especially because this is a team. I mean, we don't get back-to-back champs anymore.
Yeah,
Boston we got a really good chance. This is the first time in a long time that the defending champ came back feeling as strong. OKC is going to be in the mix for the finals for the next 3 to 5 years. The windows in the NBA are weird.
You say 35 years? I agree.
Yeah. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander III.
Yeah, that's right. Aries, actually, is his name. Actually overheard, this is funny. Isaiah Hartenstein was talking about how he and Shai's babies were born at the same time. And he said that his baby is like twice the size of Shai's baby.
Oh.
And so he's like, Hartenstein's like, my baby's like in the 99th percentile of everything. It was just like funny to hear. And it's funny because like we have known this team for so long.
Yeah.
And they've always been like these young guys. And like now they're not young anymore. And they are still young, but like they're becoming fathers and they're becoming like veteran NBA players in the case of Shai. And so it's just going to be like, I think it's just really cool. And I also think the CBA, well, so many people complain about it right now. I actually think the CBA is going to really be helpful to keeping this team together with the way it's set up and the way the Thunder have planned. And so I think that it really gives the Thunder a really cool opportunity to watch these guys not only grow as a team, but like just get to see them grow into like these NBA veterans and like grown adults that, have these like different identities. Cause like guys change a lot, between like coming into the league and then, when they're 25 to 28 years old. And so it's just a cool opportunity. And like, we're just like scratching the surface of what the team can be and seeing, personality wise, who they are has been really fun. But yeah, I think that like this is kind of the beginning. I think we're seeing the beginning of what this team is, and it's just cool to see them here in Vegas and see them respecting the cup. It's just cool.
Hey, they're getting a Tuesday night primetime slot.
Hey, that's right.
How about that? I mean, this is what it took was a cup run.
Yeah, I know. It is so goofy, and we talked about it. This will be on the NBA Daily tomorrow, but
yeah,
we just talked about how like the league and its partners are doing such a bad job of promoting the Thunder as one of the premier teams in the NBA, because whether or not they want to promote them that way, they are. Like they're absolutely one of your premier teams, and like it or not, you're going to have to promote them as such and like stop promoting them as like this cute little story. Like they need to really do a better job of promoting who Shea is. Stop introducing us to Shea as if we don't know who he is.
Right.
Like, please stop doing that.
We've seen those outfits.
We know who Shea is. Everybody knows who Shea is. Please stop trying to act like no one knows who he is. Like he is a bona fide superstar. He's somebody that almost won the MVP last year. He's going to have another really good chance to win it this year. Like, just talk about him as if he is like a star and like one of the stars of the NBA. Like it's funny. It's like you guys actually get to control that a little bit, like, why don't you try to do it that way?
It's weird to me though. All right. I mean, again, if you're, I'm going to just say them by name. If you're ESPN or if you're Turner or one of the other people broadcasting, right? It's in your best interest because this team is going to be good. They are probably going to win a title in this window.
Yeah.
And they're definitely playing for one in this window. So
sure.
You need to know these guys. You want your audience to know these guys. The build-up, people think it's just about promotion. It really is about building up these characters so that when you get to the playoffs, you get to the finals, they don't feel like, oh, man, we got OKC and whoever the 8th seed is, we got to put that on NBA TV.
Yeah.
Like they've done in the East every year, right? I mean, Boston's going to play Atlanta or whoever on NBA TV, and no one's going to watch it. I mean, I would argue a little bit, and I know it's the Celtics, so it's not actually the same. They have like the history and the tradition. The league has not done a good job of promoting that young team either.
Yeah,
Tatum is promoted by Nike. Jaylen Brown is promoted by himself.
Yeah,
those guys are not promoted by the league because the league only points to LeBron and sort of the satellites of LeBron. Now, Steph Curry still gets ratings. So the league does have to promote Steph Curry because he is their horse.
Sure.
But it is odd to me to not build the characters up. If you think about any TV show, you wouldn't have like a finale and here's this new guy who is actually the most important character.
Yeah. Yeah. Without a doubt. It's crazy.
Not smart. It's not smart.
Yeah, it makes no sense.
Like Chuck and those guys should be talking about this team on a segment every single show. They're the best team in the league right now.
Yeah. Yeah. Because, I mean, the Thunder are going to continue to force their hands if they don't. And they're just going to look silly. Like, and a lot of this is like the way they configured the schedule. They jumped too early on Wemby and the Spurs. Like that was part of the problem that happened is that they looked for the money grab.
Well, Zion too.
They did the same thing with Zion. They've been doing the same thing with Zion. It's like why don't you just take this team that is going to be one of the best teams in the league and just
with the
promote
safest stars you could possibly have, by the way, from a PR perspective. These guys are awesome. They are good people that are that know that they're on camera. I mean, the thing with Shea the other day saying, shut up, shut up, shut up. That is such a real thing that I think NBA fans want to connect with. It's why we love Ja. We love Ja. We love Ja. And what the stuff Ja was doing, we all say was dumb. But the
Yeah.
league is now just like, we're done with Ja because of the dumb stuff. And
Mhm.
I think that's dumb. When you've got people with personality, like why would you want them on TV? And then,
Yeah.
and you know, our former colleague Wosny Lambre, you know, he talked about this over on the Ringer about all these guys being brands. And OKC, those guys are brands, and they're, you know, it's all very well packaged. But they have an interesting dynamic amongst themselves. There's a character to the team, and I think that that's missed out on by all these guys.
Well, we've seen it in Denver for years.
Yeah.
You know, they have a hard time promoting that team.
Yeah.
And they don't
Well,
really promote that team.
Jokic doesn't care, and like he shouldn't have to. I mean,
Yeah.
frankly, think about this. If I work for the Athletic, okay, and I'm showing up, I'm doing my work every day. I try to do my best. You know, I may not be Jokic of podcasting, but you know, maybe I am. I don't know. Is it my job to go and also I got to hang the billboard? I got to do
No.
the commercial. Exactly.
No.
Exactly.
No, it's not.
Jokic shows up, goes to work every day, dominates. He's not the marketing guy. You know, he's not sitting in that tower up in New York on a Zoom meeting. I don't know what these guys do all day. That's the biggest thing. If they just roll the ball out and let the stars speak for themselves, let the team speak for themselves, but try to make them accessible. I understand that, like, we want the good teams on TV. I don't want to see the Wizards on TV ever. But you've got to figure out a way to have the Wizards on TV, because like Bilal Coulibaly is going to be a player in the NBA. Like he's going to be a real player. And I want to see him now.
play.
So they've always done a poor job of this. They're always a day late and $1 short on every single team, unless it's like Wemby, who they're right to be early because he's going to be there, period.
He's really good. He is good, and he will be good, but he's not ready to win though.
Yeah. Oh,
like on Christmas Day, I don't know. Maybe he'll show out and be amazing, but like that team isn't ready yet.
It's wild to have Wemby on Christmas Day.
Yeah, it's just not
especially
time yet.
after the Zion thing.
Yeah.
It is just, I don't know. You just set yourself up for a little bit of embarrassment, you know?
Yeah.
If I was talking up a guy and he comes out and lays a dud on his big debut, I think that's a problem for the league. The team is not good enough. Wemby himself is probably going to do something on Christmas Day that we're going to talk about for like a week, but that's not what it is.
Maybe, but maybe not. Like he's had some duds himself this season, you know, and that's like, he's a second-year player,
right?
You know, that's okay. It doesn't mean like he's a great player someday.
Yeah.
You know,
well, the nice thing is they're playing the Knicks, and so you know,
points will be scored. Yeah, points will be scored on Christmas. That is true. That is absolutely true. Let's see. You touched on it, but who do you think actually does get the assignment to guard Shea?
I don't know. Taurean Prince probably. You know, if you think about his size, like he can at least body him up a little bit. He's not going to that little push off that Shea likes to get to. Taurean Prince can handle it. I just AJ Green is probably going to guard him some. I would guess Andre Jackson will probably get a chance.
Yeah, Andre Jackson will probably get a shot.
Andre Jackson is funny. On the daily that's coming out tomorrow, Eric Name talked about Andre Jackson and how hard he goes. I mean, this guy skies for rebounds, right?
Yeah.
I think that could work against him guarding Shea. And I think, you know, hand in the cookie jar is going to be an issue. It's always an issue with Shea. But I think when you get a young guy, it's going to be a huge national TV moment for him. I don't know. I'd be very nervous about that. So I think I'd start with Taurean Prince. Just, you know, try to see if you can contain Shea.
Yeah.
And get off to a good start. You know, you think about the way that the Rockets bothered Shea a little bit. Now, part of this was Shea. The Thunder just missed a lot of shots, but I do think the Rockets did a pretty good job on Shea, just making it so the stuff wasn't easy for him. And so, like, if you can do that, you give yourself a little bit of a chance. But the problem is that they don't have anybody who can go guard J-Dub.
I know. That's the thing is, like, if you think that one guy is the best guy, which I just don't think they have, like, what would Taurean Prince be? Like, he'd be like the 8th best defender on the Thunder. You know?
Oh man, Taurean Prince isn't in the rotation for the Thunder.
Yeah, exactly.
In any way whatsoever, for nothing.
Yeah,
he does nothing well enough. Like he's not. Oh, we need a bucket. No, We need a big three. No. We need somebody to hit a free throw. No, he's not on the court. That's the thing about the Bucks that has kind of just we gloss over it. Is that the roster is really not that great.
Yeah.
So when you think about best individual defender that they have in their starting lineup is Giannis. And I just don't know if the game is going to be close enough when it matters for Giannis to go guard Shea. They can't do it early because you cannot let Giannis get into foul trouble. He's been better this year because part of it is he's not picking up as many offensive fouls, but he's been better this year about staying out of foul trouble. But you can't just say, all right, he's going to go guard Shea for 40 minutes. That's not sustainable. But I do think there are going to be moments where he's going to have to. Like if Shea gets hot, you're going to have to throw somebody on him that can get a stop.
Yeah. I mean, Giannis has been ridiculous. I think he leads the league in points per game right now at like 32.
Is Shea your MVP?
Shea the
today?
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I think so because you think about he's averaging over 30 points per game. He is on one of the best teams in the league, and this team has had to deal with some adversity already. It hasn't looked like it because they have only lost 5 games.
They haven't been healthy at one game, right?
They haven't had one game where they've had their full squad. And he's led them through all of it. Like he's been the consistent presence for them. Like the plus minus numbers are there for him. The scoring is there for him. The wins are there for him. The leadership stuff is there with him. Zena did a great job of pointing out the other day that like when the whole scuffle happened between the Rockets and Thunder with Şengün and with Kaysen, that Shea was like bringing everybody together. I think that when people look at this season, I think the Thunder are one of like the defining teams of this season so far. And that I think that he has been clearly the best player. You look at everybody else. I think the Bucks have righted the ship, but it's been a strange season for them. I don't think you should give it to Jokic because their season has been a disappointment. I think that Luka has also had a very odd, uneven season. And then like who else would it be at this point?
I'm with you. I think it's Shea right now. I mean, there's an argument for Jason Tatum, but the numbers don't hold up.
Yeah, Tatum, but he just doesn't have the counting stats, which matters in this whole thing. Like
Jokic's numbers are crazy, and they're
crazy.
Argument. But I'm always a best player on a 1 or 2 seed. That's just for me. That's the way I grew up with it. That's sort of my sport sensibilities. That's how this award ought to go. And maybe that's not actually what an MVP, like by definition of most valuable player. Because if you take Jokic off the Nuggets, they are maybe fighting for the number 1 pick. And Shea off the Thunder, and they're still at least a play-in team. Maybe even a playoff team because they're good.
But you can't punish a team because their general manager or president of basketball ops is incompetent. Okay.
Yeah. And I agree with that. And that's why I'm a best, 1 or 2 seed. And I mean, if you overwhelmingly are on the best team, how can I not say you're the MVP of the league? Because that's actually the thing that it is. It's the MVP of the league. We don't want an A-Rod on a 54-win Texas Rangers team. They lost like over 100 games and he won MVP.
Yeah. I don't think you want that either. I mean,
that's something crazy. Like the Russ season.
The Russ season where he
how many game winners did he hit? That guy was legitimately he was one of the 3 most valuable guys in the league. And if you were to split hairs, if you chose any of them, I couldn't really like hold it against you. But Russ had as strong an argument as anyone's ever had in a bottom half of the playoff bracket for MVP.
Yeah, for sure.
Just crazy. And it's nothing to do with the triple doubles, in my opinion. It's the sort of context of that season, losing Durant and then all those game winners.
Yeah. He was incredible.
Yeah.
Maybe as incredible as this Vegas sunset behind me. Wow.
It looks nice. You can't really see it. There's like
there's a lot of glares.
Thing is happening there. Yeah.
There's a lot of T-Mobile glares. You can see my lamp right here.
Yeah.
In the
in the window. We don't have any socks in the floor that are being reflected or anything. So.
That's a good call. I probably do. They're just not showing up. Yeah. I mean, I think that he should be the front runner for the MVP. at this point with just the way that they performed. And honestly, I think that he'll have a chance to really capture it with the upcoming schedule that they have in January. It is absolutely relentlessly brutal. Like they've got like they have like this kind of soft part where they play and like I say soft, but it's like the scheduling issue makes it not soft anymore. But like the Orlando, Miami, Washington is not too bad. They have Indiana on the day after Christmas, which is Indy's been weird.
That's an easy game.
Yeah, Indy's not been very good. Charlotte, and then on the 29th of December, I think I talked about this the other day on this show, but like Memphis, Minnesota, Clippers, Knicks, Celtics, Cavs, Knicks.
Wow.
And then they have the Wizards again, and then Philly, which we know is a piece of cake. And then they have Cleveland again, and then the Mavericks. So it is pretty brutal, and it's going to be a real test for who they are. And if they come out of that, and they're still number one in the West and looking really good, which I honestly at this point I kind of expect them to, then I think like that after the month of January, or once we get to like mid-January, I think like the MVP stuff should heat up. It always does the further along you go on in the season, the more it heats up. But I think that he could make it undeniable, by the time we get to the end of January. So that's kind of my MVP thoughts. Dave, I don't want to keep you for too much longer because you're just podcasting all the time.
All day. I have been in the hotel all day. It's actually been kind of nice.
Yeah. Dave, what's your prediction for tomorrow? I think the Thunder are favored by 4.5. The last time I looked from our good people at BetMGM.
I think Thunder probably win going away. Like 15. You know what I mean?
Okay.
I think that they're head and shoulders above the Bucks right now.
Yeah.
I think they're head and shoulders over most teams. I think the top 3 teams are pretty obvious to everybody watching: Cleveland, Boston, and Oklahoma City. So they should win this game. You're telling me that they won it. They're here, and it's a game that doesn't count for anything, so they might as well win it. Like that's my argument here for all these guys, and I think the players probably feel the same way.
Mm-hmm.
Either way, I do think the Bucks are going to come out hard. I don't think this is going to be. They're not going to roll over. I think they're going to go hard the whole time. Giannis has as much pride as any player in the NBA. Like that guy doesn't take a playoff, so I think it's going to be a great game. I really am looking forward to what a genuine single elimination sort of championship style game looks like in the NBA. I've argued for this when I play 2K. And I do the playoffs, single elimination, hardcore, as hard as I can make it. And I know that you appreciate that because I've heard about
your
NBA Live days.
Oh yeah, I would do the same thing. I would do the exact same thing. I love the single elimination.
It's fun.
I love to lose
on a video game. It's fun, man.
Losing is it's funny because like my kids are all playing basketball now and they're having to like wade through wins and losses and like what do they mean, what do they not mean, and like it's just like a part of the game, It's just kind of cool to be able to kind of wade through those waters with them for sure.
Dude, I've missed more shots in my life by far than I've taken.
Oh yeah,
right.
Yeah. That's the thing. That's totally the thing. It's funny. Like one of the things that we talk about in practice right now with my 4th grade team is like that they have a hard time like not like dogging on each other when somebody else misses a shot. And it's like, listen, like look at us. A lot of these kids like love the Thunder and they watch the Thunder. I was like, something the Thunder will never do is like say something when somebody misses a shot. I said, if they don't say anything, you're not saying anything either. It's ridiculous. Dave, anything else that you'd like to get off your chest while you're here on the Down to Dunk live stream?
I talk about the Thunder a lot.
Yeah.
Right now.
Yeah.
Not really.
Okay.
I think that this team there aren't many question marks with this team. It's now just they're another team that we need to see in May.
Yeah.
I put Cleveland there. I mean, Boston, they showed us. So I think they're in the prove it in May part of this, whatever we want to call. It's not a rebuild anymore. It's been rebuilt.
Yeah, they're
So,
built. They finished their breakfast. I think they've moved on to dessert or whatever you want to say.
We got a question in the chat. Do you want to do that?
Yeah. Oh, okay. What are Dave's thoughts? This is from Matt, friend of the show, loyal listener Matt Noonan wants to know, what are Dave's thoughts on the post game interviews?
Mm-hmm. I like it. Number one, I like that they like to go to the local guy. I think that's good. Like we just talked about.
Yeah, to Gallo.
National media, the NBA,
Gallo's the best.
Such a poor job of not just promoting, but like covering. Like it's not promotion, it's coverage. And the local guys, I mean, like you have done such a great job of covering this team. So I love that. I like that there is a genuine sense of camaraderie. Again, the shut up thing was cute. Like it was like adorable. Yeah. And we don't get a lot of that in the NBA. Because again, it's such a cynical league. And so I really like this team. I think that, whether you want to take it all the way to the top with ownership or you want to say Sam Presti or Mark Dagnall, it just feels like they've kind of got their stuff together and everyone's on the same page. And so, I really think that the post-game interviews together for a young team is very cool, where all of these guys, again, individual branding league, and you have a bunch of guys sharing screen time, precious national screen time with all their guys. I don't know how you can hate on that. Anybody hating on that, I don't know. They've never done something with a group before, maybe. They've never had anything they were passionate about or cared about or fought for. I don't know. But it's cool that these guys, they're in the foxholes together. Let's get the shine together, too. I think that that's great.
Yeah. Lawrence Field, another friend of the program, wants to know, what's the best restaurant that you've been to on this Las Vegas trip?
Kasi Beach House at Virgin is one of my go-tos. It's a very good.
You went there on this trip?
I went there Friday night. Yeah, they.
Oh, you did. Oh, nice.
Yeah, they have a crudité with you can get it with like a hummus dip.
What is a crudité?
Crudité is like a mixed vegetable platter, and it's like finger food. It's like a veggie tray, but fancy.
Like a charcuterie board,
but only veggies. It's a lot of snap peas and things like that. It's very
like snap peas. I'm into snap peas. I'm into that.
Oh man, with hummus especially, that crunch is so good.
Yeah, it's good. Yeah, it's good.
But other than that, you know what? I do not find Vegas a great place to eat. The strip especially is this is a nightmare to me food wise.
Yeah.
The best restaurants. So I normally stay at Virgin, which is off the strip. The Nobu there is excellent. The Kasi Beach House is great. There's a really good Thai place. There's a very good Mexican place, and they're all in this one spot. Yeah. And out here, everywhere is it's either super corporate. So like Bubba Gump. If you're a Tillman Fertitta guy, there's a Bubba Gump shrimp company over here.
If you're a Fertitta man,
yeah. Or like there's a baked potato with lobster mac and cheese inside.
We did have that. Yes,
that was delicious.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good. We went to Catch.
Yeah, we had to. I'm not. You know what? I don't want to disparage anywhere.
I think that you do actually.
Catch was not good. I didn't catch whatever it was.
You got the wrong thing, I think.
I did. Well, I went off the wreck, and it was the smallest poke bowl. It was a poke saucer.
Yeah, it was way too small.
And then the rice wasn't good. And the whole thing is it's supposed to be about the rice. It's actually not about the other stuff. They had tart apple in it. And it was just too much.
I got the octopus, and it was actually super good.
And I love octopus. Had told you a story about an octopus salad I had the night before, and then didn't get the octopus.
I know. It's probably because S and I got it, and you were just
both
like,
got it.
Yeah,
can't do this.
You should have just done it. You should have done it. What did you like the sushi or not?
I like traditional sushi. I don't normally go for the American style rolls where it's like, hey, let's get some imitation crab meat and stick a bunch of mayonnaise in there with it. And
it wasn't like that though, was it?
Yeah, it was like cream. It was cream cheese or something with the imitation crab.
Okay, you think it's imitation crab?
Yeah, it's definitely not real crab. It's imitation crab, which is usually made from like halibut.
Wow.
So it's
I
like
didn't
a
have
white
any
fish
idea.
that they
I
season.
liked it. I don't
Imitation
know.
crab meat is delicious. It's just
Okay.
it's not crab meat.
Yeah. I'm going
Man,
to
as a
Momofuku.
kid,
Going to Momofuku tonight, which I'm very
oh,
excited
that's a good
about.
one. That's a great
Yeah.
one. I mean,
Yeah.
there are so many really good restaurants here. I mean, Wolfgang Puck's Cut is fantastic.
Yeah.
But it's that stuff is lost on me. I actually my sensibilities are to eat oatmeal and lentils even when I'm in Las Vegas.
Listen.
I sit down and I look at a $50 poke bowl or whatever and I just can't do it.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing about it. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Grape Ape says I'm assuming he's talking about Amy, that your wife is.
I know. I wish that it was different timing because and it's funny because I've now become the person that people know brings my family places, which I kind of like. Like, you got your crew here with you. It's like it's the middle of December. They're still in school. So yeah, I wish
the
that
minivan. I'll
here.
tell you, the van for a road trip with boys.
Yeah,
you guys kept that thing amazingly clean. I was impressed.
Listen, I don't know about that. I appreciate you saying that. My kids will still reference like you riding with us in the van.
Those are my guys, awesome. Man. Those are my guys. I need them. Awesome. They got to get better about eyeballing these heights, though. Maybe when they get a little taller, they'll.
Yeah. I do wish that they were here with me, but hopefully we'll have another chance to do summer league. So they would love All-Star. Not in San Francisco, though. I mean, come on. Not in San Francisco.
No, we're not doing that. But I will be. I will be in Oklahoma City if they make the conference finals. I'm just coming. That's it.
Okay, we'll hold you to it. You'll have to come to the Down to Dunk studios if that's the case.
Well, I'm gonna park my van in your driveway, I think. And
we got room, man. We got room. Yeah.
We're gonna be there for the finals, I think.
Okay. Well, there you go. Dave DuFour, you have to listen to him on the Athletic NBA Daily. Search for it on YouTube. You can watch it there. I feel like our YouTube stuff has been really good this year, so I really would appreciate if you guys would check that out. Subscribe to that channel. Also, just listen to it. If you listen on Apple, Spotify, whatever, you can leave comments on Spotify. It's a great show. It legitimately
give us feedback, especially this audience. I trust this audience because I know this audience. So please give us feedback because we're trying to do something different and fun. And, our entire motivation, like Andrew and I, when we were talking about what we wanted it to be was how do we make people feel good and have fun? And I think we're actually doing it. It's been, and this whole trip has actually kind of been that. And you guys will see some of the stuff that starts trickling out from being at the Cup, but man, we're having a blast.
Yeah, it's great. Thanks to Dave DuFour for joining. Please be sure that if you're watching this right now live, which we got a ton of people watching, very much appreciate that. If you'll just hit the like button for us right now, that's all I need you to do. Nothing else. Hope you guys are having a great day. Hope you're respecting the Cup tomorrow. If somehow you're here in Vegas and you're listening to this show, find some way to hit me up. I'll be at the game tomorrow. I'll try to be outside the arena as well, just kind of chatting with people. I'd like to make some more videos for this platform as well. So if you see me or if you need a Down to Dunk sticker, hit me up. I've got a bunch of them. Would love to see you guys. Would love to see some dunkers. Hope you guys are doing great. We'll talk to you guys again on Wednesday.